Let us see the next question. From following data for certain stock, find the value of the call option. It means that we have to find call premium. Spot price of the security is 80. Exercise price of the option is 75. Standard deviation of continuously compounded rate of return is 0.40. Maturity period is 6 months. Rate of interest is 12%. Given the standard deviation from mean 0.25, 0.30, 0.55, 0.60. Area of the left or right one tail information is given. E raised to positive 0.12 into 0.5 is 1.062. ln 1.0667 is 0.0646. That is the way the information is given. I request all of you to do the first 3 steps on your own and put your answer in the chat box. So let us start with the answer. Step number 1. Calculation of revised spot price of equity share. That is step number 1. It is given spot price minus present value of dividend. What is the spot price of equity share given to us? It is 80 and no present value of the dividend, so the answer will remain 80 itself. The step number 1 is as such not applicable. Step number 2, calculation of e raised to negative RF into t. Friends, over here we can see that the information is provided to us about 1.062. So as a student you need to have that understanding that the answer will be found like this: 1 divided by 1.062. This is the way we are required to make the calculation of answer. Why? Because we have been provided with the information in the question. So 0.9416. This is the way the step number 2 will be applied. So basically over here, what happens at it is e raised to negative 0.12 into 6 divided by 12. So it is e raised to negative 0.06. And the question is providing the e raised to positive 0.06. So its reciprocal value will be calculated. Step number 3, calculation of natural logarithm s divided by e. I want you to tell me answer. Now friends, we understand it is spot divided by exercise. What is spot price of equity share? 80. What is exercise price of the option? 75. So 80 upon 75, 1.0666. So 1.0667. Now friends, you do not have to do any further process. Why? Because the question is providing you ready-made answer of ln s divided by e, and it is 0.0646. Simple. So over here the answer will be calculated like this. It is 0.0646. That is the way ln s divided by e can be calculated. Step number 4. Calculation of D1. It is ln s divided by e plus RF plus variance divided by 2 whole into t time period divided by standard deviation into under root of time period. ln S divided by A is 0.0646 plus RF is 12% plus variance is square of 0.40 divided by 2 whole into time period 6 divided by 12 whole divided by standard deviation, that is 0.40 into under root of 6 divided by 12. This is the way we are required to make the calculation of answer. So first of all, square of 0.4, 0.16 divided by 2, 0.08 plus 0.12, 0.20 into 6 divided by 12 is 0.10. So here it is 0.10. On the left hand side it is 0.0646 divided by 6 divided by 12 is 0.5, its root into 0.40, 0.2828 0.0646 plus 0.10 divided by 0.2828 0.5820. This is the way we have been provided with the answer, that is we will be able to calculate the answer for D1. Now friends, next step number 5, ND1 calculation. Now friends, you can see that you have been provided with the information about the table reading. You can see that the number of the standard deviation from mean from Z, area of the left or right one tail is provided to us. So we do not have a choice, but we have to use this information for the purpose of making calculation of ND1. We cannot use the normal Z table reading what we have usually. Now 0.58. Now 0.58 is of course say falling between these two. So we are required to do interpolation of these two values, that is 0.55 and 0.60. So we understand that it is 0.55 and 0.60. Difference between both of them is 0.05. Reading of 0.55, it is 0.2912. The reading of 0.60, 0.2743. So 0.2912 minus 0.2743, 0.0169. Okay, we have to reach to the value of 0.5820, okay, over here. So what we have to do, we are required to take base of either the lower one or the higher one. Let us take, I am taking the base of the lower one. So 0.5820 minus 0.55. That comes to 0.032. It is represented by this much change in the reading. So 0.0169 divided by 0.05 into 0.032. So the answer comes to 0.0169 into 0.032 divided by 0.05. 0.0108. This is the way we will have the difference to be calculated. Now importantly friends, we can see something like this. With the change in the reading, we can see that the value is falling down. So what happens at say, we are required to write the final answer like this. 0.2912 minus 0.0108. We have to deduct it. Only in that case the reading will be falling in between both of them. So 0.2912 minus 0.0108. So 0.2804. This is what we understand. Now friends, whenever we have been provided with the information like this, that is area of left or right one tail, then in that case we have to understand we have been provided with the reading of the opposite side. What do we understand with the term reading of the opposite side? It means something like this. This is the bell-shaped curve diagram, like this. Exactly in between it is 0.50. Actually, we are interested to know reading of this area. This is the area in which we are interested upon. So usually we have the Z table reading of this difference. However, whenever we have been provided with the information that is the reading one tail, what does it mean? It means that we have been provided with the reading of this area. Now what happens at say when you have been provided with the reading of this area and you are interested to know reading of this area, then in that case what you have to do, you have to understand logically like this: 0.50 plus 0.50 minus 0.2804. So this reading will be deducted from 0.5 to know that say what is the reading of the area in which you are interested. So it is 0.5 minus 0.2804. So it is 0.2196 and the final answer will be 0.7196. This is the way we will be having the answer. Okay. Now, of course, the question is over. That is, this working is over. Yet I want to give you explanation like this. Suppose in a normal situation, we are having the reading. Then in that case, how we will be having reading? Let us discuss that. See, the value is 0.5820. So it is 0.58 and 0.59. That is the way we will have reading. So here 0.58. So it is 2190 and 59. 2224. 0.2190 and 0.2224. So difference between both of them is 0.0034. This difference is 0.01. Again we take the base of the lower one friends. So 0.5820 minus 0.58. That is 0.0020. It is represented by this much reading. 0.002 divided by 0.01 into 0.0034. So the final answer is 0.0007. So it is 0.2190 plus 0.0007, that is 0.2197, and this is the way you will be having. So the ND1 value finally 0.50 plus 0.2197, that is 0.7197. So you can see that, so this is the value that we already have obtained, and this is the usual working that we have. So step number 5 is like this, which you can do by either of the method. Step number 6, calculation of D2. It is D1 minus under root of time period into standard deviation. D1 value is 5820 minus under root of 0.5 into standard deviation 0.40. 0.5820 minus 0.2828. It is deducted from 0.5820, so 0.2992. Step number 7, calculation of ND2. So Z table value and Z table reading. So it is 29 and 30. So 0.01 difference between, sorry, we are required to follow the reading which they have provided, 25 and 30. These values are supposed to be taken into account for the purpose of doing answer. So it is 25 and 30. So the difference is 0.05 and reading is 0.4013 and this is 0.3821. So the difference is 0.0192. Okay, now it is 0.2992 minus 0.25, 0.0492. It is represented by this much reading difference, 0.0192 into 0.0492 divided by 0.05. So it is 0.0189. Again friends, we understand that with the increase in the D2 value, such Z table reading is falling down. So from this we have to deduct it. So it is 0.4013 minus 0.0189. So it is 0.3824. So we understand it's over here. ND2 is 0.50 plus 0.50 once again minus 0.3824. Point 1176, 0.6176. That is the way ND2 value can be calculated. Okay. Step number 8. Calculation of call premium. Spot into ND1 minus E into ND2 into E raised to negative RF into T. Spot is 80. Value of ND1 is 7197 or 96. Exercise is 75. ND2 is 6176 into 1 divided by 1.062. The reciprocal value of the future value is the present value. 80 into 0.7196, 57.57. 75 into 0.6176 divided by 1.062, 43.62. 57.57 minus 43.62 is 13.95. That is the way the call premium is calculated. So friends, over here, just revising the entire answer. Step number 1 is to revise the spot price of equity share. This step is not applicable. Why? Because the dividend information is not given. Step 2 is E raised to negative RF into T, that is 0.9416. Step number 3 is ln S divided by E, that is 0.0646. This time information is provided to us. This is also provided to us in the example, so you don't have to take any pain for doing it. Then D1 calculation, that is what say we do normally. Like that, say we have to apply the formula for doing answer. Nothing is great in that. ND1 calculation is something which is important. Dear students, importantly, I want to tell you is that in your revision, when you are having the revision of the Black and Scholes model and you are referring to these series questions, then you have to pay attention to this question especially. You have to pay attention to this working note especially, because these are the important points for you. Okay, so over here, say we have made the computation of the reading. Since it is the one tail, means you have been provided with the opposite side reading. So that will be deducted from 0.5 for the purpose of doing answer. And accordingly, we have computed ND1. D2 calculation is simple. ND2 calculation is similar to ND1. No change. And then, so the call premium is calculated. Before I proceed further, just only for time pass, suppose the D1 value which we have calculated 0.5820, suppose it would have been negative. Then in that case, what must be the ND1 value? Can you just tell me? Friends, over here, in this case, what will happen? Whatever the Z table reading of 0.2804 itself is what the value which is considered to be for the purpose of ND2, ND1. So Z table reading of 0.2804 itself is what we understand as, say, the ND1. Let me explain you why. Okay, now generally what happens at, say, generally for the D1 0.5820, we know that, say, the Z table reading is 0.2196, which I have explained you in detail. So now for ND1, this is negative. It is 0.50 minus 0.2196. We deducted. Why? Because, say, the D1 value is negative. So what is the final answer? The final answer is 0.2804. Whatever this final answer that we have of ND1, itself is the answer that you will be able to get over here. You have to understand it like this. This is a bell-shaped curve diagram. This is exactly in between, that is 0.50. We are interested in this area. So basically 0.2196 is this area in a routine situation. So from 0.5, 0.2196 is deducted. Now this time, as I told you, that say you have been provided with the reading of the opposite side. Means you have been provided with the reading for this side. It is 0.2804. And of course, this and this will be same. So it is 0.2804 itself is the answer that we will be able to obtain. Now friends, I am just giving explanation to you say about the different kind of tables that may be provided to you. Now to explain that, say I am taking a constant value, so for the purpose of discussion. Because in examination it may happen that you are provided with a different kind of table. So it is, let us say 0.5820, that is what we are having the, let us say D1 value and ND1 value is 0.7196, that is 0.50 plus 0.2196. And suppose the same D1 is having negative value, negative 0.5820, then in that case the reading is 0.2804. This is what we understand. Now suppose you have table like this, normal probability distribution table, one tail. One tail means what we have recently understood. So for a 0.55, you can see that the reading is 0.2912. Recently the question that we have done. So this 0.55 is 0.2912, and for the 0.60 it is 0.2743. That is the way information may be provided to us. Now understand carefully, we may be provided with the values like this. Cumulative distribution function for the standard normal random variable ND plus, like that, so the values are provided, and this table will start with 0.50. Generally we know that it starts from 0. The reading that we have done so far, in that it starts from 0. But over here, it starts with 0.50. Yeah, it starts with 0.50. So in that case, for 0.5820, you have to understand that say we will be able to get the value directly over here. So for 0.58, it is 7190. So of course you understand that say now the remaining is the interpolation that you have to do. So 0.7196 is the final answer that you will be able to get. Why? Because you are provided with the cumulative value. Cumulative value stands for directly this area is provided to us, which we require, not this area. So if it starts from 0, so from here onwards the reading is there, and if it starts from 0.5, then from here onwards the reading is there. This is what you have to understand. Next, we may be provided with the table 3, wherein is ND minus may be provided to us. So in that case, the reading is falling down. You can see that say 0.5, 0.49, 0.49, 492 and so on. So in that case, you have to understand again the opposite side reading is provided to us. So 0.58, in that case it is 0.2810, So of course you understand that say the opposite side reading is given to us. So this is similar to one tail table. So in this case what happens that you have to deduct that reading say from 0.5 and it will be added to 0.5. So it is 0.5 plus 0.5 minus 0.2810. So this is going to be added to 0.5 for the purpose of calculating final answer. This is the way so the table may be provided to us. Further, institute has also given a tutorial note which I think is quite important. Students may place note following important. Value of ND1 and ND2 have been computed by interpolating the values of the area under respective numbers of the standard deviation from the mean given in the question. It may also be possible that in the question paper areas under Z may be mentioned otherwise. Example, cumulative area or area under two tails. Instead of one tail, we may be provided with two tails. In such a situation, the area of the respective Z given in the question will be as under. So what happens friends that say two tails means very simple. It is like this. One tail means this. Two tail means this plus that. That is what we understand as two tail. So we have to understand two tail divided by 2 becomes one tail. So for 0.25, it is 0.5987. So you can see that say you have been provided for 0.25, 5987, for 0.30, 6.79 and so on. For 0.55 and 0.60. This is what we understand. Two tail area 0.8026, 7642 and so on values are there.